So, of course, Zero Dark Thirty is based on this true story. Do you think it's important that it's being told now, you know, that it's all still very fresh in everyone's minds and everyone's been given the chance to kind of delve into it so soon?
Yeah, I suppose the plus point is that you know that the facts will be more accurate, possibly. When you let something drift for years and years and then try and tell the story, there's always the possibility that the reality just slightly melts away into a kind of fiction. So, yeah, at least I suppose we know what we're getting in this is a result of recent interviews.
And so when you first received the script, were you at all worried that perhaps this is too soon, or were you always on board? Were you sort of very much in this one?
It didn't occur to me that it was too soon, to be honest. I thought if a filmmaker like Kathryn Bigelow and a writer like Mark Bowl felt it was a subject matter they wanted to deal with, then you want to work with the best people, and I consider them to be certainly extremely talented filmmakers. So it didn't really occur to me.
This is a very exciting time for you as an actor, because obviously we've got the whole sort of the awards season, and this film is very much doing the whole, you know, it's up for Oscars, everything like that. Is that quite exciting for an actor to be involved when this time of year comes round? I hope I'm in a film this year that's going to be up for Oscars and I get to attend everything and promote it.
Well, I like it for the fact that, you know, it draws attention to the movie. But genuinely, I'm not a big fan of the whole bun fight element of awards and all of that. And to be honest with you, I often feel things don't always win the award that should win the award. And there's a wonderful book by William Goldman called Which Lie Did I Tell? I think came out in 2002. At the beginning of every chapter, he says, OK, these are the movies that were up for the Oscar this year. Let's have a look at the end of the chapter, what won. And it's never the one that you think. The one that abides and the one that people tend to keep watching is often not the one that wins. So awards are very funny. They're useful because it's good for the industry and it's always nice to win one. But I don't think of it in those terms. No, I don't play chess with my career and think, I want to find a movie that's going to be up for an Oscar so that I can go. No.
And so tell us about your character in the movie.
He's called George Wright. He's the head of the Afghan-Pakistan division of the CIA. He's based on a real person, but I don't know who that is. I wasn't encouraged to find out either. There wasn't a need for research, really, because he represents a certain type of figure within the CIA, within the management structure. And he is Maya, who's played by Jessica Chastain's boss.
So was it quite helpful for you, because you didn't know who the person was, that it allowed for you to bring your own sort of personal spin on the character, not be kind of, I don't know, you weren't, the character wasn't kind of forced upon you, you didn't have this research like that you had to abide by, you were able to bring your own personal touch to it.
Exactly, that's, yeah. Sometimes it's good to have a framework that you can build a character on by knowing, if it's a real person, what they were like. But conversely, it's wonderful to have the freedom to just play what you think it should be. Although often people say that's the most difficult thing, is playing yourself or playing something close to yourself. I sometimes feel that. I feel like playing something that's removed from me is easier because you're so obviously acting.
There's an amazing cast. I mean, the likes of Jessica Chastain, you've mentioned, James Gandolfini, Joel Edgerton. Was it brilliant to be around that calibre of actor and actresses around on set?
Well, the nature of the ensemble film that it is means really you only follow Jessica Chastain's character. She's the person that takes us into the movie and who we follow. And then Jason Clarke's character, Dan, who is in a very large part of the beginning of the movie. Everybody else is essentially ensemble. So I didn't really, I bumped into Carl Chandler, for example, who plays my immediate, not inferior, what would you say, if you're not a superior, my subordinate. I bumped into Fares, who was there that day, Edgar Ramirez, but I didn't really get to know them. James Gandolfini, I spent a little time having a cup of tea with because we were in a scene together. It's nice to know that you're in a film that's attracting that calibre of actor, though, yeah.
And my favourite scene that you're in is when it's your sort of first scene in the film and you give everyone around the table a good old-fashioned bollocking. That must have been quite good fun to shoot. And was that the first scene you actually shot as well? Yeah,
it was good fun to do. It was the scene that I did as the audition for them in LA that got me the part. And it was the first scene I did on the shoot, and I didn't know any of them. So in a way, I was quite happy to keep it that way until I'd come in and done it. And I quite liked the idea that they were all sitting around a table and they hadn't met me and I was just standing outside the door. And action happened, and I just went in and did it. It was great.
Did you find yourself by yourself in the canteen on the first day?
Well, the first evening, whenever you get to a shoot, you're pretty much on your own. They're all out filming, and you don't know anyone yet. So you have that first evening of getting ready for the next day. But once I'd done that scene, we all got together.
I mean, there's a very taut, quite a very suspenseful atmosphere to this film, and I mean, dare I say it, it's almost tedious at times, but in a good way, because it's reflective of the kind of 10-year hunt for this man. But there is some light relief in it, and obviously with Maya writing the sort of days on the board, how important do you think that is to help give the audience something to kind of to fall back on, that chance to breathe, I suppose?
Yeah, it allows people to let off a little bit of steam, and the editing and the pace of the film is very taut, very lean, very dynamic, and I think any light relief is leapt upon. Apparently, somebody earlier on was telling me I got a laugh in the cinema that she was in when Jessica's character swears in front of the head of the CIA. I give a look and it gets a laugh, and I was never playing for that, but obviously the tension is so great in that moment that everybody's grateful for the release.
And just finally, I mean, 2013 looks like it's going to be another big year for you. You've got lots of projects lined up. And you're the latest, well, the upcoming film that you're going to be in is Welcome to the Punch. Can you just tell us a little bit about that, because that's quite soon?
Yeah, that was a really interesting attempt to make a London-based action thriller in the style of Michael Mann, rather than Guy Ritchie, like not a gangster movie, but a real action movie with an element of psychology to it. And it's made by a guy called Iran Creevy, whose first film Shifty he made for not very much money and was a real success with Riz Ahmed and Danny Mays. So this is his second movie, and it's a kind of love letter to London, really, and it's a two-hander between James McAvoy and myself. He's a cop, I'm a robber. And then something happens. He's after me, but then we have to join forces.
Yeah, sounds really good. I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, good.
Thank you so much for your time anyway.
Pleasure.
Cheers.
Pleasure.